a lot of us have heard you have a lot of potential, but half of the time we do nothing with the potential that we have. And for some reason, there's this connotation that having potential means that you are automatically entitled to receive the validation and the accolades from the work that you have not put in yet. I often think about when it is you're on your deathbed, because that's what we're all living this life to do. Eventually, we're all going to pass someday. Do you think that you're really going to be proud of the fact that you could have done something? Do you think you're going to have your children and your grandchildren surrounding you and saying, you had so much potential? We love that you had so much potential. That's amazing. Did you though? If you actually stay focused, do you know what you could achieve with your life? Do you have any idea? No one wants to hear, but I have so much potential though. Okay, and what are you doing with it? What are you doing about it? Are you just sitting on all of that talent that you have? No one gets trophies and no one gets rewards for what they could have done. That's not how life works. And as much as we all would love, I would love that. I would love for that to be a thing where, because I could be really good at something, you just give me the prize for it already, just off the bat. Just because you know I could, you should probably just give me the prize for it. That's not how life works. You do the thing, you practice it. You don't do so good at first, or maybe you do really good the first time, and then the second time is just a flop, and then the third time is another flop. But then you do it a fourth time, and it sticks. And you do it a fifth time and it sticks, but you do it a sixth time and it's a flop. Do you stop then? Or do you do it a seventh time? I think a lot of us doubt ourselves and sell ourselves short before we actually get into what it is we could be doing. Everyone else is able to see what it is you have inside of you except you. And that's nothing new. I'm sure you do the same thing. You could look at your friends, you could look at your partner, you could look at your coworker, and you could see the traits in them that could possibly skyrocket them into the level of success that they randomly told you about one lunchtime when you guys were just so frustrated with all of the things that were happening on work. Or the fact that you guys were just so frustrated with life in general. But you probably saw something in them that said, no, you actually could take this lash business to somewhere far. You know, the way you do your own hair, I could see you doing other people's hair and building up a clientele. You have such a good fashion sense, you could be a personal stylist. And often, the same thing you do when someone points out that you could actually be really good at something, the person will be like, no, yeah, but. And I don't know if that happens to you, but sometimes I get really, I feel as if I've lost something. You want success for other people so bad, and it's such a heart-wrenching thing when other people don't want the same success for themselves. You do the same thing too. You do the exact same thing as well. Because your family members or your coworkers or your friends probably told you that you were really good at something, and you have been the one to say, actually, I get what you're saying, but nah. No, actually. And there's no real reason why. Because you find that when it is you start the venture, all of a sudden your brain is like, why are we doing this? Do we really think we can do this? We're so accustomed to pulling ourselves out of success that we never actually let ourselves feel what success feels like. I know I'm the same way. I've been thinking about starting a YouTube channel for forever. And I don't know if this will get 5 views, 100 views, 10 views. Is like, oh my gosh, this is great. Oftentimes, I find myself in conversation with people and I question myself before, who's going to listen to you? Who's going to take what it is that you say seriously. I would read something in a book, for example, if I'm reading Think and Grow Rich, if I'm reading The Art of Seduction, if I'm reading The Richest Man in Babylon. I would read that and think, surely everyone knows that. Surely everyone has already figured this out. What do I think? Like, honestly, I feel like I'm behind everyone else in figuring out something, in learning something. And I don't know why, no matter what it is, if I read an article, read a book, I have this weird thing where I'm immediately like, I'm sure other people knew that and I'm just late to the game. And then you find yourself in conversations with people and you say what it is you learn, what is you learned in the past, and they will look at you like you're crazy because what did you just see? That makes so much sense. I've never thought about it like that. And here I am standing like, but I thought everybody knew this. Okay. Cool. And then you say more about the things you've learned and they're like, where did you learn that? Those are times where I find myself questioning, why was I holding myself back to begin with? Why was I thinking that this is some grand idea that is just automatically shared through the ether, be amongst everyone's brain? Surely I can't be the first person to learn that. And of course you would meet up with people who are on that same level or frequency as you, has that same energy. But the way you might understand something is not the way someone else may understand it. We are all experiencing life in the same and different way. The same thing is happening, but you would have a different perspective on it. I would have a different perspective on it. Your friend might have a different perspective on it. And whilst each perspective is not wrong, it's different. And there's no harm in sharing that perspective with each other. So you might be thinking, I'm not going to go into that business because the market is already saturated. You may be right. The market might be saturated. But what if the idea that you have for your business is not one that someone else came up with? They may be doing the same product as you. They may be posting on the same days as you. They may be talking about the same things as you. But the perspective that they might bring and the perspective that you might bring to the same exact product may be completely different. That's why you have different brands of wine. I say wine because I'm drinking wine right now. You have different brands of wine. What's the real difference? It's all wine, right? It's all fermented grape. But you have thousands of different brands of wine. And you have thousands coming out every day. You have different alcohol brands. You have different clothing stores. You have different furniture stores. It's the same furniture. You're still going to use it for the same purpose. You're going to sit in it. You're going to write on it. It's probably a vanity. You're probably going to look at yourself in the mirror. But there are thousands of different furniture stores. Because someone might resonate with your perspective on a product while someone else may resonate with my perspective on a product. And that never means that the perspective is wrong. Your audience was just looking for what you had to bring to the table. We need to get out of this scarcity mindset of, well, they're already doing that. All of the consumers are already flocking to this one store. Everyone's already on Amazon. Everyone's already on Shein. I don't know where you will shop. But you may be thinking, all the customers are going there for their clothes and their stuff. Okay. So, you know that you can literally, there are people that actually copy other people's ideas. There are brands out here that fully copy the idea, the name, the theme, the clothing design, whatever it may, they copy it word for word, bar for bar, and produce it and put it out the exact same way. And they still get customers. They still have consumers. They still have persons that would say, oh, I think I've seen this before, but I'm going to spend my money anyway because this is what I need. And here I am selling ourselves short. Why? If you are to be rejected, let someone else reject you. And even when that other person rejects you, move on to someone else. And if that person rejects you, move on to someone else. We have countless examples of this when it comes to the Harry Potter series. I believe she said she got 100 no's about around there. Do you know what it is to get 100 no's? Personally, if I got no's 10 times, I was gonna be like, okay, that's a sign. She got 100 no's. I was like, girl, let her roll off my shoulder. And she still pushed forward. And now that's one of the biggest series to date. If you tell anyone, I have actually never watched Harry Potter or read the books, you are guaranteed to get someone that would say, are you serious? Do you live under a rock? And why is that? Because she didn't sell herself short. But you sell yourself short, don't you? I know you do. And you were the one that told yourself no to begin with. Because you want to take away the power that no holds. And you think taking away the power means telling yourself no first, letting your no be the most powerful no. So if you tell yourself no, no one else can tell you no. I've heard someone tell me that before. I gave them a compliment. I said, oh my gosh, this outfit looks so good on you today. You look fantastic. This color scheme is so good on your complexion. You should wear more colors like this. And they immediately said, oh my gosh, but my stomach is so bulgy and I have no bottom. And I said, I was confused because I was like, what are we talking about right now? What? And I called them out on it. I said, why are you doing that? Why are you not just saying, okay, thank you. Really? It looks nice. Thank you. And this person told me, I like to tell myself, I like to call out the imperfections in myself or call out the flaws in myself first so that no one else can beat me to it. If it is I see that, oh my gosh, I have a big stomach and I have flabby skin and I look so old and I have bad hair and then it's like I'm beating someone else to the punch before they get to tell me it. And I found that was the most ludicrous thing I've ever heard in my life. You would rather shoot down a compliment with unnecessary self-criticism because you want it to be a competition on how fast you could insult yourself. Nobody can insult me better than me. And I was flabbergasted. I had no response because duh, we all have flaws. Of course, your skin is not going to be perfect every day. I'm battling 2 pimples right now. Of course, your outfit is not going to be banging every day. Sometimes you're tired. Sometimes your makeup not going to be banging all the time. You didn't have time for that. You wanted to sleep. Sometimes your hair not going to be looking all that good. Okay. Do you need a constant reminder of it though? Does that mean that you are now not worthy of compliments? Does that mean that you're now not worthy of experiencing what comes with feeling beautiful and being beautiful? We know that there's a chance you could fail if you start your business. Does that mean that you're now going to hold yourself back from even trying? Does that mean that you're now going to rob yourself of what could have been? You're just going to hold on to that idea like a child that no one else could have. And then watch everyone else do what it is that they want to do. And you're just there like, I'm not gonna try because I won't fail if I don't try. You won't fail if you don't try. True. You also won't succeed if you don't try. You won't know whether you could have succeeded or not if you don't try. I want this for all of us. Fail, lose, win, draw, fold. If you have something in your head, at least give yourself the respect and the common decency to try. At least give yourself the respect and the common decency to trust yourself that what it is you say you're going to do, you're going to do. And you stick to this for 1 month. You give yourself a time frame. If this doesn't work out in 3 months, I'm gonna quit. Okay? But you better give every single thing that you have to that idea in those 3 months. Because if you don't, it didn't make sense. You started and you didn't even give 50% effort, it doesn't make sense. Start and give 100%. And if it doesn't work out with that 100%, okay. Try something else, pivot. But do not sell yourself short on what you could achieve just because you are afraid of failing.